Hi, and welcome to your Week 4 Biology A introduction. This week, one of the topics that we are going to go over is called diffusion. So, what is diffusion? Well, let me start by asking the question. What happens when you put a drop of food coloring into a cup of water? What do you think it would look like after a second? What do you think it would look like after 1 minute? How about after 5 minutes? Well, here is an image of time-lapsed diffusion. So as you can see, that we start off with a clear glass of water, and the next picture is a drop of food coloring going into that cup. And then there is some time lapse, and as you can see, once we get over to the far right, that time lapse has probably been about 5 to 10 minutes, and we are left with a blue glass of water. So what is happening there? Diffusion. Diffusion is what is happening there. So what diffusion is when particles move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. So in this example, the food coloring particles are highly concentrated when they're first dropped in the cup, right? They're really dark blue when they're all together. And then they start moving against each other and moving against the water molecules, and eventually they spread out to the low concentration, to the clear water, until everything is equal, till all of the particles of the food coloring and the water are equal and moving around, move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. You also experience this with things like perfume. So if someone sprays perfume in one corner of a room, and you won't smell it if you're on the other corner until a while later, because it's highly concentrated in the one corner, and eventually the perfume particles will bounce off the other particles in the air and make their way to the other side of the room. That is diffusion, just particles moving from highly concentrated to low concentrated. We're also going to be looking at cells. So your body is made of billions of cells, as this quote tells you. This slide shows you some examples of different cells that are in your body. So your body is made of all sorts of different kinds of cells. They're shaped differently, they look differently, and they perform different functions. They are all different, but they are all needed. Now, don't get confused between a cell and an atom. That can be confusing sometimes. So cells are what make up living things. They are quite a bit larger than atoms. As you can see, a red blood cell is 40,000 times larger than a carbon atom. Um, Atoms make up everything. So yes, living things are made up of atoms, but non-living things are made up of atoms and not cells. So cells are those larger units that make up living things like animals and plants and fungus, whereas atoms make up everything. So don't be confused between those two. They do have some similar terminology. For instance, both of them have a nucleus, but they are different and they have different functions, and you'll learn about that this week. I hope you have a great week. Please be sure to contact me with any questions. You can see my email here.